If silver really hits $200 by 2026, this is not good news. In fact, it's one of the most dangerous warnings the global economy has ever sent. Most people think a rising silver price means profit, opportunity, and bullish markets, but history tells a very different story. When silver explodes like this, it usually means something is broken underneath the system. And right now, insiders, institutions, and quiet market signals are pointing to a crisis that almost nobody is talking about. Let me be clear from the start. This is not hype, and it's not a clickbait fantasy. Large banks, hedge funds, and commodity traders are already positioning for something most retail investors won't see until it's too late. The price of silver is being suppressed, distorted, and quietly accumulated, and when that pressure finally snaps, the move won't just affect metals, it will expose stress fractures in currencies, debt markets, and global trade itself. Before we go deeper, make sure you like this video and subscribe to Dark Finance Secrets. This channel breaks down the financial stories most media avoids, and subscribing now means you stay ahead of what's coming instead of reacting too late. If you care about understanding the real economy, not the headlines version, you're in the right place. Now here's the uncomfortable truth. Silver is not just a metal. It is money, energy, technology, and trust all combined into one asset. Unlike gold, silver is heavily used in the real economy. Solar panels, electric vehicles, medical equipment, data centers, military tech, and advanced electronics all depend on silver. Demand is rising fast, but supply is not, and this imbalance is becoming impossible to hide. Behind closed doors, insiders already know that global silver inventories are thinning at a dangerous pace. Major exchanges report metal on paper, not metal in vaults. Futures contracts promise delivery that cannot realistically happen at scale. This is where manipulation enters the story. For years, silver prices have been held down through paper trading, leveraged shorts, and artificial supply signals. The goal was stability. The result is fragility. If silver were allowed to trade freely based on physical demand alone, many analysts believe the price would already be far higher. But keeping silver cheap helped hide inflation, protected currencies, and kept industrial costs manageable. That strategy is now failing. Inflation is no longer under control, debt levels are exploding, and central banks are trapped. Think about this for a moment. When confidence in money weakens, people don't run to stocks first, they run to real assets. Gold gets the headlines, but silver moves faster and more violently because the market is smaller and tighter. That's why a move to $200 wouldn't be gradual, it would be chaotic. And chaos in silver is never isolated. Historically, major silver spikes have aligned with currency stress, banking instability, or geopolitical shocks. The metal doesn't cause the crisis, it reveals it. That's why calling $200 silver bullish completely misses the point. This would be a warning signal, not a celebration. Here's where the global economy comes in. Governments today are drowning in debt. The United States alone carries obligations so large that they can only be managed through inflation or currency debasement. When money loses purchasing power, hard assets reprice higher. Silver doesn't rise because it becomes more valuable. It rises because paper money becomes less trustworthy. Insider reports suggest that some institutions are already preparing for a loss of confidence scenario. Not a sudden collapse, but a slow, grinding erosion of faith in fiat currencies. In that environment, silver becomes a pressure valve. When it finally breaks free, it tells the world that trust is leaving the system. Market manipulation has delayed this moment, but it cannot prevent it forever. Paper silver trades at multiples of real physical supply. This works only as long as most players never ask for delivery. But once demand shifts from speculation to possession, the illusion ends. What makes this situation more dangerous is timing. The push toward green energy, electric vehicles, and digital infrastructure is accelerating silver consumption just as mining output stagnates. New silver discoveries are rare, expensive, and slow to develop. You cannot simply print more silver the way you print dollars. And yet the public conversation is almost silent.
Mainstream media treats silver as a side story, a niche investment, or a speculative trade. That silence itself is a signal. When risk is openly discussed, markets adjust slowly. When risk is ignored, adjustments are violent. There's another layer few people talk about. If silver surges uncontrollably, it forces policymakers into uncomfortable choices. They can raise interest rates further and risk breaking debt markets, or they can tolerate inflation and destroy purchasing power. Either path damages the global economy. This is why some analysts believe $200 silver would coincide with financial stress elsewhere. Banks tightening credit, currency volatility, stock market instability. Not because silver causes these problems, but because it exposes the cost of years of artificial stability. At Dark Finance Secrets, we pay attention to these quiet signals. Silver is one of them. It's not about getting rich quick. It's about reading the warning lights on the dashboard before the engine fails. If you're still watching, it means you already sense that something doesn't feel right in the global economy. Prices are higher, debt is heavier, and trust is thinner. Silver reflects all of this in one place. As we move closer to 2026, watch how institutions behave, not what they say. Watch physical demand, delivery delays, and central bank actions. Those are the real indicators. When silver finally breaks free, the move will shock people who thought it was just another commodity. And when that happens, remember this moment, not as a prediction of profit, but as a warning we chose to pay attention to early. If this video made you think, share it with someone who still believes everything is fine. And leave a comment below. Do you see silver as an opportunity or as a signal that the global system is under stress? I read the comments and your perspective matters here. This is Dark Finance Secrets. Stay aware, stay ahead.